Hi, welcome to this week's Dragonblade Authors Unplugged. I'm so excited. I've got Katherine Lyons, CH Admirand, Elizabeth Dunne, and E.L. Johnson with us this week. Ladies, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks. It's nice
Thank
to
you.
be here.
And Mary Lancaster has a release this week too. In Silver and Gray series, it's Vengeance in Venice.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Yeah.
So I'll make sure I put the link to that in the comments, and we'll catch up with Mary on a future week. But let's just dive right in with CH's book, which is the Duke's Sharpshooter.
Yep.
The Duke's Sharpshooter. Pew pew.
Say that 3 times fast.
No.
No.
Do the hand gestures.
Yep. There you go.
It's book 14 in the Duke's Guard series.
Wow.
Can you
Yep.
tell us about this?
14.
14.
14.
And that's not even the end. There's more.
But book
there's more.
15 is in with my editor 2 weeks late. But book 16, yeah, I got to write that before November. No pressure. Sorry. My brain is all scattered. I've been doing a bunch of different things today, and I wrote down my hero's name, my heroine's name, and would you like to know them?
I would love to know them.
I was waiting for you to say that, Evelyn. Thanks. So Rory Flaherty is almost the youngest. There's one younger brother out of the 4 Flaherty brothers. In this really big series that sometimes I remember the other characters' names, but I wrote it down, so it's Rory. And he's on patrol going from Windmere. Nope. Yes. Okay. Windmere Hall. Sorry. See, this is what happens when you're writing a book and then you're talking about a book that you already wrote. He's going to the village from Windmere Hall, and as he's passing by the graveyard, he sees someone there, but it's raining and there's like a cloak over the person, so he's like, oh god, a vagrant, I've got to take care of this. So he gets closer and he hears a gasp and he realizes it's a woman. It's a young woman. She gets up to run away, and he's like, she's like kind of bulky and kind of very odd looking, and he realizes, he like tells her to stop. Immediately she stops. She turns around and he hears somebody else talking, and he realizes she has a young child in her arms. And it turns out that she's on her last leg. She's been looking for a job. She's a widow. She hasn't been able to find one because a lot of times, people assume the worst, or not the worst, but assume, oh, we know you're not married. You just have this child out of wedlock, whatever. But so she has a hard time with people believing what her situation really is. But Flaherty decides he's going to take them to Windmere Hall. And of course,
our hero.
He is our hero, and he acts heroic, and he gets them all set up in the inn, and he even tells the hostler, he's like, please make sure that they can get taken care of. He gives them money and everything, so they're taken care of. He says, I just have to finish my rounds, and I'll be back in like maybe 20 minutes. He gets back, and they're not there.
What?
Wait, I don't know. Was there a woman that somebody's trying to tell me what to do? I'm sorry. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yeah. So kind of my heroines kind of have that same thought process, when in reality it was that they weren't getting served. Everybody else was, a couple of coaches came in afterward, and the young woman who's the sister of the innkeeper decides we're just going to make them wait. But I mean, at least they were warm and they were dry. So, but Flaherty finds them and he takes them to Windmere Hall, and then I have it right here. Oh, stuff happens. A lot of stuff happens. And then more stuff happens. But I'll tell you, the innkeeper's daughter, not a good person. She could be, and she could be reformed, but I really didn't want to, because I really didn't like her. So she made a pretty good evil person in this book.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, happily ever after. It just takes a while to get there. And in the meantime, Flaherty kind of gets his heart broken, and then he falls in love with her daughter first. So that was like really important for me, because I don't know, I have grandkids.
Yeah, your guys are always like they're like the do right guys,
Does he do right?
They're like the guys that step in and save the day, and then inadvertently fall in love with the heroine along the way. But their intention is
the last thing they want to do.
Yeah, but like their intention is like the honorable, like good stand-up heroes, exactly the kind we want.
Yeah, they're just like my husband. Same kind of guy.
Awesome. Well, that sounds delightful, and I love the idea of him falling in love with the daughter, with the
She wraps him around her little finger.
That's
Really
so much fun. It's so much fun to watch a strong man, like turn to mush because he's found someone to
Mush.
love. So awesome. Well, that sounds like a blast. And there are more of them, so we can get really attached to the Duke's Guard because we're going to get more Duke's Guards as we go.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, the next book that came out this week is E.L. Johnson's book, and it's a Lion's Den book, Love Lies in the Lion. Can you tell us about this one?
Sure. So, hello from Hertfordshire, by the way. Let's see. So, this is where I don't know if you guys do this, but I was inspired by watching a period drama. Where have you guys seen? I think it's the 2007 version of Northanger Abbey, starring Felicity Jones and Jada Field. All right. So, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen the film or read the book. But there's a character in this, Isabella Thorpe, who's kind of I wouldn't call her a villain necessarily, but she's kind of like a social butterfly who gets her just desserts. And there's a particular scene in the film where she has thrown herself kind of into bed with this soldier, and she thinks that that is the way to his heart, that he is everything she wants, and this is the guy. And now that they've slept together, there's a great moment in this film where she's like, and now are we engaged? And he just kind of snorts and is like, really? And he's like, you need to make yourself ready before your friends and family miss you. You can go now. And he's just so cold and callous, and his treatment of her, and you can just see in her eyes, it just destroys her inside, and it totally twists her. And so I thought, oh my God, what if I shaped a whole character based off of that? What would you do if you weren't a bad person? You weren't a villainess or anything. You're not out to get anyone. You're just a nice, normal young woman who sleeps with a man that you think, you've been courting, and, you've been going around, and you think, this is the way to his heart. And he turns around and treats you like that. And, my prologue to this novella is kind of like, she's like, so are we engaged? Are we going to talk to our parents now? And he's like, no, you've stained the sheets, because she's a virgin. And so, yeah, so that's kind of her twist of fate, her moment that kind of defines her and her actions, where now 7 years later, she is a spinster. But her younger sister, Betsy, they're in St. Albans, which is quite near to where I live. And they're at, the assembly rooms, which is still there, although it's now a museum. And, Betsy comes across this young man who rescues her from a guy who's getting a bit too forward. And it turns out that he's the younger brother of the guy who had deflowered her older sister 7 years ago. But of course, Betsy doesn't know that. The young man doesn't know that, because my main character, Anastasia, she's not told anyone. She's kept it really secret, because also on that day where she was in bed with this guy, her mum died of a fever.
Oh man!
Yeah, and so it's like all the pressure, all the horrible stuff. And so for her to be throwing herself into bed with this guy on the very afternoon that her mum passes away from a fever, it's just kind of like all the horrible decisions that she's made have come to a moment, and now it's this. And so as soon as she sees that her younger sister is going for this young man, she's like, oh no. And so she's going to do everything in her power to separate them. And so that's where the novel starts. So there we go.
Nice.
So I hope readers like it. I hope you
Oh
like it.
yeah.
Love
So
it.
much
I'm intrigued.
So
there's all
That's
the
it.
tension there. So,
Yeah.
and now I really, 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 really want her to get a happily ever after, because
Fingers crossed. We'll see. Yeah.
And
Comes out
this,
tomorrow.
is this your first Lion's Den book? Have you written any?
No, it might be my fourth, maybe.
Oh my goodness!
I know. I keep trying
Yes.
to write this character of Mrs. Dove. I always say Mrs. Dove Lyon because I studied French in high school, but I know it's technically Mrs. Dove Lion, but it sounds really weird to me to say it that way. But Mrs. Dove Lion, I keep trying to crack her character and to nail it down, because I never really get it right. So I keep trying and trying again and failing, but I keep trying. So that's why I do these, because they're good fun. And, who doesn't want to write about like Regency London? So
And
Yeah.
connected
Yeah.
world. I love that idea. And
Yeah.
Catherine's writing her origin story,
Ooh.
which is going to come out in our Kickstarter this year. So if you are a Lion's Den fan, you want to pay attention, and you'll be able to get Bessie Dove Lyon's story in the Kickstarter. So very excited about that. So, Awesome. Awesome. Well, the next book that came out this week is Mary Lancaster's book, and it's Vengeance in Venice, and it's book 6 in the Silver and the Gray series. I'll make sure I pop the link in. But that's like a slow burn, same couple, multiple book mystery series. So, and I think that they are married now and going through the trying to figure out what it means to be married, and also crime solving. So,
As one does.
like, I mean, you need a pastime.
A hobby.
You need a hobby. The next book that came out this week is Gillian's Wild Heart, and it's book 4 in the Ladies of Monroe series,
Right.
and that's Elizabeth's book. Can you tell us about this one?
Sure. So this is a bit of a different kind of book because we begin with a happy ever after.
Oh, nice.
And then it sort of unravels and they have to recapture it.
Oh.
So it begins with Gillian, who has been in the series since book 2. When we meet her and Eleanor. Eleanor was the young woman who married Lord Howell of Monroe, and Gillian is the groundskeeper's daughter, and they ended up being best friends throughout their childhood. And so when her friend Eleanor goes to Monroe and marries Lord Howell, she often invites her best friend Gillian Kinsey to come visit. But Gillian, being a groundskeeper daughter, hasn't got any pretensions. She's very carefree. She's got no qualms with the rules of society. In fact, she pretty much ignores them. And Eleanor sort of protects her because she's her best friend. They tend to have only the nicest people from the town visit them anyway, because they have the right kind of standards. You should have a good character and be a kind person and so forth. So Gillian is pretty much allowed to be herself, even though she's mixing with members of the town, because Eleanor protects her from the worst of it. And Lord Howell, her husband, Eleanor's husband, has got a really good friend in, now I've got to remember his name as well, Lewis, is that his name? Lewis Bradford? Yes.
Elizabeth, we talked about this.
You're not
So he
alone.
was actually, when he was in my first draft, he had a different name, and I changed it I remember which name I kept. Yes, Lewis Bradford. And Lewis Bradford is sort of the spare to the heir. His father's a baron, his brother's the eldest, and Lewis himself is a barrister. So everything about his life is about being second best. He doesn't get to inherit anything, he doesn't get the title, and worse than that, he has to really behave himself properly because he mustn't spoil his brother's chances in life. So he must, toe the line for his brother's sake. So he's quite rule-bound compared to Gillian, and he's rather resentful about it. And then, of course, at these dinners at the Howells, they get together and he meets this breath of fresh air who's just so different to what he's ever experienced. And he, in inverted commas, lets his hair down around her. And so obviously they start having a feeling for each other, and everyone, including friends and family, see this happening and just start shouting out the warnings. This is a terrible idea. You guys are very poorly matched. You haven't got the same background. It's going to be a disaster. Don't even think about it. And they just turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to everybody. And they get engaged. And that's where the story actually starts.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, then things go truly pear-shaped in the story. And I can't tell that really important bit, obviously. But it changes circumstances for the two of them almost like 180 degrees, and they've got to figure out how they're going to live the life that they were hoping to live together, where they were two independent souls against the universe, and now suddenly that's opportunity, that circumstance is taken away from them, and they've got to adjust. And yet neither of them really wants to do it, and he feels more compelled to do it because he's been taught how to obey, and she's not so keen, and some resentment builds up between them, like a real marriage.
And then you got to figure out how to get back to the happily ever after.
And they have to get back to the happily ever after, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's sort of like a circular story. So we start off at the same point that we end off on, but there's a long detour.
Yeah. Oh, but I love that, and I love like when you have to watch the couple really work for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is that there's a lot of questioning of why those rules existed in society, because that's one of the difficulties I'm sure you all have found if you write Regency at all, or that kind of period, where it's just so difficult to tell any story because there were so few things women could do that you're very limited in what your character's mischief can be. Because there were so few things she was allowed to do. So this actually questions a lot of those rules and why she couldn't do those things. And
hence the wild heart.
yeah. And I really wanted to stay true to her wild heart. I did not want her to change for society or change for her husband. Certainly accommodate certain things, but I didn't want her to fundamentally have to change. I wanted her to be true to herself. That was important.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely. Awesome.
The
How many more do we
there's one more, Irene's Fall, which is coming out in December. And then that's that 5 books done.
Awesome.
But I have lots more churning around inside my head for the next series. So.
Well, of course you do. That's why we have trouble remembering our main characters. There's
It's
always
true.
what's going on. Awesome. Well, the last book that comes out this week is Catherine's book, and it's Truth Serum, and it's book 2 in My Lady's Potions.
Yes.
Potions.
Yes,
Can you tell us
and
about
I
this book?
even remembered to bring, here's book 1.
Oh, pretty. It's so pretty.
Nice
That's
and big.
beautiful.
I don't have copies yet of the Truth Serum, though. I'll get it soon. Anyway, my hero is a character from the first book who is the ne'er-do-well. He's just on the fringes of society. He hears the gossip. He was secretly writing a gossip column, or that's what everyone thinks.
Oh.
Turns out he is a super secret spy.
Okay.
Yes, and the heroine, who he has loved since they were kids, and while the reason they broke up is, not their fault. But anyway, our heroine, her name's Lady Rebecca. She has been lied to. Her big thing is, don't lie to me. I don't care. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you say. Just don't lie to me. And of course, he has to lie to her.
Yeah.
And what's worse is her brother is, he's a narcissist, and he's got his own plans. So he's been feeding his sister all these lies, which Lord Nate has put out. He's made a point of being, I'm just, hanging around and I'm wandering around. And sure, I got beat up the other day, but that was because I was at a bar, that sort of stuff. Or again, I can't remember if it was gambling hell and he was just stupid, but no, he was beaten up by French spies. So we get fun adventure, and then we get some real humor with this Truth Serum, and it doesn't work the way you think or anybody thinks. So that's a little teaser. I won't tell you why, but it's my favorite. I've got the humor, I've got the adventure, and I love this book.
Oh,
and you will too.
Oh, I'm so glad about that. It's always so much fun to talk to authors when they really adore what they wrote. That's fantastic.
I think we all secretly adore it, but it sounds like we're being all prideful, going, this is a really good book. But it really is a good book.
They're really good books. They're really good books. They really are.
You get invested in them.
Yeah, you're gonna want to get them. You're gonna want to spend time with them. You're gonna want the blanket and the snuggles and all the things so that you can read. So,
And those characters never leave us.
They
Live
don't.
with us.
And
Getting crowded.
it's so much fun for me to do. This whole series has, some sort of potion.
Mhm.
And so it's like, is it magic? Was it really a love potion? Or was it, and the Truth Serum, is it really a Truth Serum or just, a mild hallucinogen? Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
How many more potions do we get?
There are at least 5. Those are 5 of them have been turned in. 2 of them are coming out now. So there are more planned, but at the moment, I have to write the rest.
Well, that's how it goes.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
And the next one coming, the next one, the series gets better and better.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit about, or I was talking a little bit about grabbing a blanket and snuggling up, but it's fall now here on the East Coast, and Starbucks is doing pumpkin spice stuff. Thank you very much. And so I thought maybe we could talk about if you guys had any favorite fall things, any favorite comfort, cozy things, any things that you just really loved about this time of year.
I get to go outside.
Woohoo!
I'm in Iowa, and in Iowa in winter it's just too gosh darn cold, and in summer it's just too gosh darn hot.
Same in Illinois.
There's like 2 months of the year that I can go outside and really enjoy the weather.
I have to tell you, Elizabeth, I thought it was the coolest applique you had there on the bed behind you. Okay,
No, it's a puppy.
it's
It's a dog on the one side and a cat on the other.
oh, there you go. They're just resting.
Living their best lives. Yeah.
Yep.
They're my little mascots. If I'm having a moment in my book where I'm just like not making progress, I go have a little cuddle and then I come back.
Come back.
So my favorite fall winter thing to do is to get I don't do hot chocolate, I do mochas. I got to get the caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sit down and I have a book on tape and I do a jigsaw puzzle.
Oh,
nice.
that sounds so nice.
Yeah. And so I'm all, snugly
Cozy.
sugar inside and snugly warm and a book on tape. And then I, do a jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Favorite.
Yeah, I haven't tried. I love books on tape, but I haven't tried puzzling. Actually, we're doing more audiobooks for Dragonblade, and I get to do it. I get to be the one who does it. So I get to listen to all the questions and stuff. It's so much fun. It's like my favorite thing. It's like my favorite. Well, I mean, this is my favorite thing, but it's my second favorite thing is getting to listen to all this stuff.
What's your first favorite thing, Evelyn?
Talking to all of you.
Oh,
You're so nice.
That's my first favorite thing. But no, so we're going to start doing audiobook promotion. So one more, we just finished one, but we're going to start doing them at regular intervals. So you want to pay attention because we've got lots of codes to
Sounds
give
good.
you review copies and stuff. So you can absolutely listen to you can listen to your Dragonblade books and do jigsaw puzzles with your mochas.
There you go.
there we go.
Well, it is
But I
fall.
want to edit it. That's
Yeah.
the problem. I never stop. It's
Oh.
like, ooh, why did I say it that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
So-
I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Well, that's okay. I was just gonna say it is fall, and it was 49 here yesterday morning,
Ooh.
but not this morning. And after my computer had issues while I was supposed to be chatting with Dragonblade readers, and thankfully my oldest son is an IT guy, and he was able to fix it because now I'm sweating. So I'm not dressed for fall right now. Stress will do that to you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel that I keep a little fan beside my.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, Katherine had the fans at the thing, and it was just lovely. I mean, hers had half-dressed knights on them, but it's like you need
That
those
makes it better.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
you need those too. Erin, do you have any favorite fall things?
Oh, when I was living in Massachusetts, where I'm from, I used to love to go to Salem and just kind of get in all the Halloween spirit and things and get my tarot cards read and walk along the green and see the multicolored leaves and things. And it was wonderful. Just breathing in fall and breathing in the smell of the leaves and hearing the noise as your feet, go through them. It's wonderful. But I had a moment earlier last week that was a cozy moment where I was so I work in London, and right now the weather's changed, so it's really cold and a bit rainy at times, particularly in the morning. And so I was near Regent's Park, where there's really swanky fancy offices, and I'd dived into a little coffee shop that I like to go to get a croissant before work. And so I got that and a cappuccino, and I thought, you know what, I've got about 10 minutes before I have to be at work, because I work just over there. I thought, why not? And so I sat by the window and I had my little, croissant and coffee, and I pulled out a book that I was reading, just historical or whatever. It was romance by Emily Henry. And I just looked and I'm like, there's slow jazz playing. It's warm, it's cuddly, it's cozy. I'm enjoying this. I don't have to be anywhere for the next 10 minutes. I can sit and eat and enjoy my little breakfast while there's people, damp, wet commuters walking by going oh, they're shivering and they're cold and they're miserable and they're wet. Not me. This is perfect. It is warm, dim lighting. It's lovely. And it's 8 something in the morning. It's great. And for about 10 minutes, it was the pure coziness that you want. It was, what is the word? The Danish word, like hygge or hygge, whatever that is. I could spell it. It's like HYGGE. If you look it up, it's like the concept of coziness in
Really?
Danish. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, okay.
It's a thing. And they achieve it by liking like
HYGG.
E. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's pronounced hygge or something. I'm butchering it. I'm sorry. But I had that moment and I'm like, this is what it means to be cozy. And it's wonderful. So that's my thing.
That
And
sounds awesome.
you can like hang on to those when you get the chance, because I think we get so used to trying to schedule things and everything has to be like this big thing and this block of time and stuff, and you have to like grab the moments when you can get the moments, because if you look, there are more of them than you think there are.
Mhm.
Well, I have built-in cozy, so
Nope, we do have building cozy. Building cozy. No, I'm waiting for the apple cider to show up. It's just started to show up at the grocery store. Haven't seen it at the farmer's market yet, so I'm hoping it's there this week, because I'm not a big hot chocolate fan. I'll do mocha, like Catherine, but hot apple cider is.
Hot cider is a fave of mine too.
Yeah.
Do you put a little splash of something in it?
Just cinnamon.
Just cinnamon?
A little cinnamon stick, but
My husband used to like to put whiskey in his.
I'm allergic to alcohol, sadly. So otherwise,
I fortunately am not, so perhaps I
My cardiologist said I'm allergic to it, so I can't have it either.
I live right, like, I don't know, half-mile away from an orchard that does cider, and you know, they have the corn maze and everything set up. It's quite the kid location. But yes, the cider I get from there is fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah. Fresh pressed.
So Evelyn, you got to come to Central Illinois, and I'll take you to a corn maze and cider and apple pie, and
that sounds delightful. That sounds delightful. And I used to have a kid in Iowa, so but they decided that was not far enough away from their mother, so they moved the whole way to Washington State. So
my two kids are in Boston and San Francisco.
Oh, goodness.
Wow. Separate coasts.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're discovering the joys of the housing market in those two cities.
They picked tough ones.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Awesome. So, Erin, you were talking about getting in the Halloween feeling, and I have one of my writer besties is in Newburyport, and she used to live in Salem. And my daughter-in-law came over last night, and we watched Practical Magic, and you know, I'm finding myself like leaning.
Midnight margaritas.
Yeah, you put the lime in the coconut. I'm finding myself like really leaning into that. I just finished Rules of Magic, which is Alice Hoffman's first, like the prequel to Practical Magic. And we've got Ghosts in the Graveyards. We've got the Halloween anthology coming out.
Yes.
Next
I am so excited for that anthology. I can't even begin.
Well, tell us about your story.
Well, so I love the Ghost Whisperer, you know, with now I've lost her name.
Oh, the one where she can talk to.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I
started the nice lady.
Right. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yes. And so I kept seeing reels of that, and I was like, well, I created an entire family who can see spirits. And so I actually, because the word count on the anthology was maximum of 12,000 or 15,000 words.
That's not a lot of words.
It is not. And to set up the whole situation was difficult. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but I always feel a little cheated if I don't get the hot scene in there, and that adds words. And so, anyway, mine is long. Right, it does. Mine is long, but it's so good because it is the Ghost Whisperer, and I call it the Ghost Whisperers, plural, hyphen Giselle, because she's got a twin sister, Guinevere or Gwenny, who might have her own book someday soon.
Oh, fun!
Nice.
But I got to finish the Love Potions first.
Love Potions first, yeah.
Well,
that sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. And keep your eyes open. We'll post about the anthology all over our social media.
I have that on pre-order already.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And the cover for that is gorgeous.
It is. It is nice.
Do any of the rest of you have any kind of Halloween kind of things that you like to do? I got new neighbors, and they just put out pumpkins, and they're pulled out, and I'm like, oh, they're pumpkin people. This is so nice. We got pumpkin people. Know nothing about them, but they're the kind of people who put pumpkins in front of their front door. So
They're pumpkin
You're
people.
supposed to put peanut butter in them so that the squirrels like make you start out with a lightly carved pumpkin, and and then it gets more gruesome.
They do.
why would you?
I love that. I'm going to do that.
They get so gruesome.
We don't. So
my daughter doesn't even put peanut butter in them, but the squirrels, I eat their faces off.
Wow!
Every year.
Oh my god! I love that.
Really creepy. Yeah.
I don't know.
My grandsons love it. They're like,
I don't know if it's an Iowa thing or just in our sort of local area here near Des Moines, but we've got our beggars night. It's actually, instead of trick or treating, the kids come and tell jokes, and like dad jokes, like really like.
I love that idea.
They got like these little 7-year-olds telling sort of this really like corny little jokes, and then they earn their treats by telling a joke.
I would absolutely stock up on candy if people would come
Right.
tell me jokes. Just
And I've done it every year where they either had to sing a song or do a dance thing, and they would, you could just have a little piece of candy, or you could have a lot of candy if you did something. Well, then a dance troupe came by.
Oh my goodness.
Take the entire
cleaned
thing.
you out.
But this year I ended up buying, for much cheaper than the candy I would have bought, little light up super balls. So I'm giving, that way I won't eat all the candy.
That is the danger. That is the danger.
You can buy more, right?
True.
And my hips are finding more and more and more.
Having adult money and access to treats is not necessarily
especially the day after Halloween when everything's half price. I just happen to be buying groceries then always.
Funny how that works.
Peanut butter cups. Okay, so we're almost out of time, but so last thing, what is your favorite candy treat that you can't resist?
Peanut M&Ms. Oh wow, you guys, come on!
It's tough because I have so many.
I've struggled to find it here in America.
What's that?
What is
Cadbury's. Anything Cadbury's.
Cadbury's?
The Cadbury's here in America isn't the same as the one in South Africa, which is again different to the one in England.
Oh.
The one in England is more creamy. The one in South Africa is, in my opinion, the nicest one.
Okay.
I love that you've got global
it's just not as good, but it's still better than nothing. That's what I grew up on, is Cadbury's. So that's something I seek out here.
I like Mr. Good bars.
Which ones are they?
The peanuts in chocolates are Hershey's or Snickers.
Oh, Snickers has
caramel, right? Hershey bars. Sorry, I don't have just one.
I was just going to say, while we're on the subject of like Halloween decorations, I got some the other week for my work for when they're doing renovations right now. But when we go back, we get to like hot desk. And so I thought I would actually just have it here. I got a little black skull for my desk. And yeah, it's plastic, but I named it like Lord Percy.
Little flames.
He's just going to hang out on my desk, and then people know it's mine.
Nice.
So there's that. But for sweets, so I grew up on like Hershey's Kisses and Hershey's, and I love all the little mini like Hershey bars. But the chocolate is different in the UK than it is in the States. The different sugar content, different products used to make it. And so now my tastes sadly have changed. And now American chocolate doesn't taste as good to me as it once did, which is really sad. But back in the day, I love and still love Reese's peanut butter cups, like for the win. So that would be my go-to favorite. But the sweets over here for Halloween are not nearly as good as they are in the US. So yeah, take it from someone who knows.
Kisses, Hershey Kisses in the eye sockets.
Let me. Oh, that's an idea. But people take them.
Then
like, they just go yoink. I mean, if they're willing to, like, actually go and dig around in this guy's eyes and take a sweet, I'd be impressed. I noticed that.
Yeah, they're yours. So. You can take the candy now.
Yeah, there we go. But
Well, ladies, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today, and thank you for indulging my chocolate. It's like chocolate.
No problem.
I was going to say desire, but that seemed excessive.
It's so hard for us to talk about candy and chocolate.
Right.
It's true.
Romance and chocolate. What the heck, man?
They go together.
I'll make sure I pop the links to all the books in the comments, including Mary's book, so you can grab them if you haven't gotten them already. Dragonblade books are best deal on pre-order and release. You want to get them then. You want to get them the moment that they go up on, just boom, right?
Yep.
Just pounce on them. Just
Grab
right as soon as they go up on pre-order, because that is the very, very best price. So you want to grab them as soon as they're listed. But if you don't, Kindle
Put
them.
the anthology link in too.
I will put the anthology link in too, because we have to read Katherine's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait till you guys see the cover for this one. It is so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Like it's lovely. On a related note, we're having a promotion. This will air on Friday, starting this weekend on the 26th. We're having a free book promotion, so you want to go to the Dragonblade website, click on the link, and you'll be able to find there are 15 books included in the free book promotion. It's mysteries and legends and mysteries, I think is what it's called. And the link to the anthology is also on that page as well. So
Love me a good mystery.
yeah, especially this time of year. All right, ladies, thanks so much for taking